Hello and welcome. I am Courtney Greedy, and you are in the right place if you want to learn about how essential oils can help you keep your hormones happy. I'm a holistic health coach and a mom of two with another baby on the way. I'm actually 33 weeks pregnant with my third as I'm recording this. And I've worked with a lot of clients over the years, and I have just discovered and noticed that hormones are key to keeping us feeling good. And as I worked with clients, I started noticing that sometimes my clients would get really good results just by making tiny little changes. And then other times it was a lot more challenging for them. They would make all the right changes. They would do what I asked them to do, make dietary changes and lifestyle changes. And sometimes weight would just stay stuck. Their skin would not clear up like they wanted it to. And I knew that there had to be something deeper. And as I dug and studied and read, I discovered that it was most likely a hormonal imbalance that they were dealing with. So I really wanted to learn to give women the tools that they want and they need to help keep their hormones happy and balanced. So what are hormones exactly? Hormones are chemical messengers in our body that really influence everything. And they all have many jobs. It's not like we have one hormone that does this one thing. We have many hormones that do many things, and they're all interrelated. So one of my mentors taught that hormones are like a house of cards. Like, take a deck of cards, those people that can build those intricate houses out of the deck of cards. Well, what happens if one card falls over? Well, maybe you might look out and be okay if it's like one of the top ones on the side, but most likely it's going to knock the whole house of cards, at least part of it down, if not even all of it down. And so that's what can happen with our hormones. If they really start to get out of balance, it can really affect our whole entire system. And our hormone imbalance can cause us to feel horrible, really crummy, really bad, just gross. So let's talk about how we can just look at four main hormones that can really help keep us feeling balanced and feeling good. So these are cortisol, and then thyroid. I'm grouping a couple different hormones together here, T3 and T4, but just for simplicity, we're just going to call it our thyroid hormones, and estrogen and insulin. So these are the top four that really, it's like the base of our house of cards in us women. Cortisol. This is our main source of focus and function when under acute stress. So this is one of our main stress hormones. And acute stress, it's okay every once in a while. If you've ever been under a deadline, or ever maybe your in-laws are coming in town and you get this sudden surge of energy to have a really clean house. And it can feel good as long as it's not too stressful. But what happens when we're under chronic stress, when it's every single day we're dealing with a cortisol surge and we're just feeling stressed all the time? Well, what can happen is our cortisol levels can get way too high. And typically, if they stay too high for too long, they start to be too low. We get adrenal burnout, adrenal stress, adrenal dysfunction. So looking at cortisol is a really great place to start because it's something that we can control with some simple decisions that we can make personally. We are going to get into those, I promise. But next, I want to talk about our thyroid hormones. So again, this is T3 and T4, and these together keep us energized and comfortably warm. So a lot of if you're one of those women that's like, I'm always cold, especially if your hands are always cold, your feet are always cold, you feel like it's summer and you should be warm, but you just feel really low energy and you just feel cold all the time, I would definitely suspect a thyroid issue. Thyroid also affects weight and metabolism. So this is another one to watch. If you're just feel like your weight is stuck and just not going anywhere, I would be suspicious of a thyroid problem. And thyroid issues are actually 15 times more common in women than they are in men. We don't hear a lot about men having thyroid issues. It does happen, but it's really so much more common in women. Estrogen. This is our hormone that makes us women. This keeps us juicy and joyous, like everything from our joints to our skin, has a huge influence on orgasm and libido and sleep and mood. So if anything's going on with any of those, suspect estrogen. Insulin. So this is what regulates our blood sugar in our system, in our blood, in our cells. And insulin is actually, it acts like the key that unlocks the door to our cells to let the glucose, the blood sugar, from our blood into our cells to give us energy and keep our blood sugar levels at a really good place. So insulin is another key hormone that it's so important to watch and keep happy and balanced. So how can we start to get back to balance? If we are suspicious of an issue or know that we have an issue, or we just have crazy moments at certain times of the month or all the time, first thing to look at is cortisol. Because cortisol it's one that's pretty simple to start to bring under control. I didn't say it's easy. I didn't say it's just going to happen naturally, but there's simple steps that you can take to start to take control of your cortisol. And cortisol is such a foundational hormone that it can be so helpful to do things like calm down your brain. How can you calm down your brain? Well, you can take 5 minutes and just do some deep breathing, do some meditating, pray, do something to slow down your brain. And for me personally, I have a brain that really loves to move quick and really does not like to slow down. I like how fast my brain moves. I like to think, I like to be creative, but I do notice that I can get into a high stress situation if I don't take the time to calm down my brain. So I actually use an app on my phone. It's called Zazen, Zazen, and I use the light version, Zazen Light. It's free. I've used it for years and years. And what it is, it's a meditation timer. It dings this cool, like Zen sounding bell. And I typically only do 5 minutes because that's what I seem to have in my life right now. If you can do more, it's absolutely great. But I do find that even 5 minutes, even 2 minutes makes such a difference in my day. So check out that app if you want something. I just feel like it helps keep me accountable. If I just start to meditate and don't have a timer set, I have a harder time relaxing because I feel like I should just, we're busy women. We all are. I know we are. I know you have a lot going on. So when we can use these tools that can help us relax even for a couple minutes, it can really help us to calm down. And then in that, we can help to we can aim to amplify positive emotions. So focusing on the positive, it sounds kind of cheesy, I know, but it is so helpful to, when we catch ourselves in a negative thought pattern, when we catch ourselves thinking like, I just don't have enough time. How am I ever going to get this all done? We can think, okay, I have plenty of time to get the important things done. What is the most important thing that I can do right now in this moment to get me the best result? And just focus on what we can do instead of all the stuff we have on our plate. And for cortisol specifically, moderate exercise is really important. Moderate exercise is what's going to keep our cortisol levels down and in a good place. We don't want to, if we're in a phase of our life with high stress, we don't want to be training for a marathon. We don't want to be doing really strenuous weightlifting exercises. We want to keep our exercise moderate. We still definitely want to exercise. We want to keep calm breathing while we exercise. We want to do everything we can to keep our stress levels low. And when we really push it, when we're like on the elliptical, like breathing hard, like can hardly catch our breath, that tells our body that we're in a high stress situation. So it's fine to push yourself. It's fine to exercise in a way that makes you stronger, but just watch your breathing and try to keep your breathing at a calm pace. Caffeine. Now, notice I say lower caffeine consumption. I'm not going to say that you have to go off all caffeine completely. That would be helpful if you did. Again, I know we're busy women and I drink caffeine every day. I don't want to take it away from you if it's something that you feel like really helps you and helps you to be productive. But if you feel like you are overdoing it with the caffeine, if you feel like you get jittery every single day or feel like you're just stuck in a caffeine cycle, it would be really helpful to drastically cut back on your caffeine. And the crazy thing about caffeine is the more you have and the more you get in this cycle, the more tired, the more exhausted your body gets. It covers up this deep exhaustion that you might have going on. So be really careful of the caffeine. And if you need to step it back, then step it back. If you need help with that, I'm here. I have definitely stepped back off of caffeine many times, and I can help you do it in a way that's gentle and doesn't feel too hard on your body. Going cold turkey can really hurt in a caffeine situation if you're enjoying a lot of caffeine. Okay, we kind of talked about meditation. We didn't talk much about yoga. Yoga is a fabulous way to calm down your body, calm down your brain. It's actually my favorite form of exercise because there's all different kinds of yoga. My favorite type, at least when I'm not pregnant, is the type that makes our bodies really strong and makes our minds really calm. So finding a good yoga practice that fits your beliefs, fits your style, can be invaluable to having a strong body and a calm mind. And there's lots of doTERRA oils that can help with keeping stress in a good place and helping with those feelings of anxiousness and feelings of feelings of so much to do on our plate. And we're going to get into those in a couple minutes. And you know that you can actually test your cortisol levels. This is a test that you can order for yourself. I definitely, if you feel comfortable, if you have a doctor that you feel like can help with this, go to your doctor. But know that there's tools out there that you can just order your own lab. canaryclub.org. It's $119. At least I just checked as I was putting this slideshow together the other day. And what you do is you just take a saliva test 4 times a day and you send it in, and they send you your results in a really easy, you can read it really easy. You don't have to have doctor training or medical training to read the results. They keep it really simple. And that could give you a idea if you have an underlying imbalance going on with the cortisol in your body. Actually, really interesting, high cortisol is often the cause of low thyroid. Those two are so interrelated. And remember, we said women have 15 times the levels of thyroid issues that men do. So if you have low thyroid, if you're tested and have low thyroid, if you just go to a conventional doc, you might be put on thyroid medication and might be ignoring the root cause, which is the high cortisol. So it's something to watch out for. Insulin. This is another one that is simple to take control over. Again, not easy. Number one thing you can do to start taking control of your insulin is to test. I test my glucose at least 4 to 6 times a year, my fasting glucose first thing in the morning, just to make sure that it's not creeping up. I've caught it creeping up a couple times over the last couple years. It's really, we have so much sugar in our American lives. It's in everything, and it tastes good. And it's really easy to get into the cycle of eating too much sweet stuff, which can really influence the way our glucose works the insulin works in our body. So testing our glucose is super important. I think my glucose meter and the strips were around $70. You can probably find something cheaper. I felt like I didn't really do my research when I bought the meter, and that was really inexpensive. And then the strips were like $40, $50 a box. So look at the whole picture before you buy your meter. And what you do is you just prick your finger in the morning and you test it, and you want it to be under 90. And that's lower than what some doctors are going to tell you. But from my training, if it's over 90 fasting glucose in the morning, then you are on your way to having a insulin imbalance. Potentially it could lead to prediabetes, diabetes, metabolic syndrome. And then once you get that far down the road, it's a lot more difficult to step things back just with food and with lifestyle. So keeping an eye on that, making sure that it's not creeping up, especially if you're like me and you have diabetes in every branch of your family tree above you, it can be really helpful to test your blood glucose in the morning after you've slept all night. Wake up, test it first thing before you have any food. And eat to balance your hormones, not to soothe. So many of us, we just go by, I just feel like having this fill in the blank thing, a piece of cake, some ice cream, a giant milkshake. And these things are fine every once in a while, as long as you're testing, you're watching, you're making sure that your body's responding in a healthy way. But as we're moving towards balance and as we're attempting to balance our hormones here, it's really important to eat to balance our hormones. And what does that mean exactly? It means having fat, fiber, and protein at every meal. This helps to keep our insulin in a good place. Watching the simple carbohydrates, watching how much sugar is in our life, really stepping up all these vegetables that are in this beautiful heart right here, these fruits and these vegetables, mainly the vegetables. That's what really helps keep our blood sugar in a really good place. And then exercising. Notice that I did not put moderate here. It's okay to push it a little more if your cortisol is in a good place, but your insulin is a little high. It's okay to step it up. And then the oils that we're going to talk about. So let's get into oils right now. How do we keep healthy cortisol levels with oils? Well, there's calming oils that we can use. So this adrenal aid is 3 drops clove, 4 drops lemon, 3 drops frankincense. You can combine this in a roller bottle. I'll have a picture of a roller bottle in a few minutes if you don't know what that is, but it's basically a bottle that has a roller thing on the top, and you can just put the essential oil in with a carrier oil, like a liquid coconut oil, and then you can just rub this blend right over your kidneys, so just both sides of the back below the rib cage. And you can even put a warm, damp washcloth over that. And that just really helps get those healing oils into your adrenals and helps keep your stress levels at a healthy place. And then my favorite for when I do feel like I'm going through a period of high stress is called the Stress Less blend. And that's just Serenity and Balance. So Serenity is like a vanilla, floral, lavender blend, and then Balance is a woodsy, like, tree blend. So these two together, they smell so good. They're super effective. You can start to feel more calm in 30 seconds, a minute. Like it's very quick how fast these oils can work. So those are 2 to keep in mind. Thyroid. How can we support a healthy thyroid with oils? Well, there's what's called a thyroid boost. This is 5 drops clove, 10 drops myrrh, 10 drops frankincense, and 5 drops lemongrass in a rollerball bottle, and then filled up with carrier oil. And this one you want to apply at least once a day. I would say, depending on what you're dealing with, how healthy your thyroid is or not, you might want to do more times a day. So even 3 times a day would be absolutely fine. If for some reason you do find that you have a little skin sensitivity with this one, you can definitely cut the amount of oils that you are using in the rollerball in half. So do more like 2 drops clove, 5 drops myrrh, 5 drops frankincense, and 2 drops lemongrass. Still going to be effective. These oils go a really long way. And then thyroid calmer, this would just be a drop of myrrh and a drop of frankincense, just mixed in your hand with some coconut oil and just applied to your neck. And this is also going to help with cortisol. It's going to also help with feelings of stress, help you to stay calm. Estrogen levels. Now these are 2 really cool oil blends, and Clary Calm is the base of Clary Calm is clary sage, and clary sage has been used for a very long time to help with healthy hormone levels. And Clary Calm comes in a little rollerball bottle already. You can just put it on your wrist. That's my favorite place to put it. It smells really good. It's really calming, and it can really help to keep your hormone levels happy, especially your estrogen. And then this blend called Whisper. This is really, really interesting one because it smells different on different people. And as you use it, as your hormone levels balance, this blend can actually start to smell different. So when I first started using this blend has patchouli in it. And when I first started using it, all you could smell was the patchouli. It was like I just put on patchouli. I smelled like a hippie everywhere I went. I didn't like it. Honestly, I like patchouli. It's grown on me, but I did not like to smell like really strong patchouli all the time. Now I notice, after using doTERRA oils for almost 3 years, when I put it on, this floral, amazing, like it smells like expensive French perfume, like one of the best smells I've ever smelled. That starts to come out. And just the other day, I walked into a coffee shop, I had it on, And I was just in line, like there's 3-4 people in front of me, and the girl making the coffee, like surrounded by all these smells, was like, who is that? Who smells so good? I was like, is it me? And she was like, let me smell your wrist, or let me smell what you have on. And I gave her my wrist, and she's like, that smells amazing. What is that? And it just opened up this cool conversation that we had about why it smells so good and what it can do for her. So it's one that is really, if you haven't experienced Whisper, I recommend trying some, because it's a really cool oil that can really help you to smell good and feel good and stay balanced. Okay, blood sugar levels. There's actually a blend called Slim and Sassy. This is the metabolic blend. And as you can see in the picture, it has lemon, peppermint, ginger, grapefruit, and cinnamon. So these 5 oils together, they're blended together to make this Slim and Sassy blend. And this blend can really help to support healthy blood sugar levels, healthy metabolism. Really helps me with sugar cravings. That's probably my favorite use for it, especially around the holidays. Love to put a drop of Slim and Sassy in my water and just sip on it, because it really helps me to stay sane. I'm typically pretty good. Well, actually, I'm not. I'm definitely a recovering sugar addict. So I can get in these cycles of eating too much sugar, just like probably all of us can. And I feel like Slim and Sassy can help us step back from that and make sane choices. And you can also put Slim and Sassy on topically. So you could put it in a carrier oil, and I like to rub it on my thighs. After I have this baby, I'll definitely be rubbing it on my belly, trying to tighten things back up again. And it feels really warm and feels kind of tingly with the grapefruit and the cinnamon. And I would say be sure to dilute this one because of the cinnamon that's in there, because the peppermint can be a little intense. But if you dilute it, like maybe a drop in half a teaspoon of a carrier oil, rub that where you want it. It's really fun to do before you go work out or go on a walk or something. That can feel really good and help keep you energized. And it also helps keep your digestion feeling good too, with the ginger and the peppermint that's in there. So grapefruit comes as a single oil from doTERRA. And I love this one in ice water in the summer. So a drop of grapefruit in a big cup, a big glass. We always want to use glass, not plastic, with especially citrus oils, but just when you're ingesting essential oils in general. Put a drop of grapefruit in the bottom of your glass, put some ice on there, top it off with water. Oh, it's so good on a hot summer day. We have a big garden and a pretty big yard, and sometimes I need more energy to help me stay motivated to work out there, and that's one of my favorite things in the summer. And then cinnamon it smells amazing. You can put it in your diffuser. You can actually put it in a capsule. You could do like 3 to 4 drops in a veggie cap that you can get from doTERRA. And it's kind of like just an empty vitamin shell. You put the oils in there, close it up, you can ingest it, and it'll help to give you good energy and help keep your blood sugar at a healthy level. And it tastes good. You won't taste it too strong, but you will start to get a mild cinnamon taste, and it tastes really good. And then we have to talk nutrition. We can't talk about healthy hormones, healthy balance, without talking about the foundational nutrition for our cells. So food is awesome. I definitely recommend cleaning up your diet. We talked about the vegetables, the fat, fiber, and protein at every meal. But honestly, it's really just not enough in this modern age of food that's grown many miles from our house and shipped to us. And our food just is not as nutritionally dense as it could be. So having some foundational supplements is so helpful. And this is called the Lifelong Vitality Trio, LLV. You'll hear us talk about it, Lifelong Vitality. And this is actually doTERRA's #1 best-selling product. And they guarantee that you'll feel better within 30 days of using it, of starting to use it, if you use it as recommended. And if you don't, they'll give you your money back. So this is a money-back guaranteed product. And I personally notice a big difference. If I forget it, if I go out of town, first off, I notice that I usually start breaking out. My skin will start breaking out, and I just don't have the same amount of energy. So it can help with healthy sleep. It can help with healthy mood. So what it is, it's a fish oil, essential oil omega complex. That's fish oil. There is a vegan version as well if you would rather get your omegas from algae. And the cool thing about this fish oil or the algae, depending on what you pick, is it actually has essential oils in it, like frankincense and clove. And then there's the microplex, which is vitamins and minerals. And then the alpha CRS, this is what helps with healthy energy. So it's actually feeding the mitochondria in our cells and helping our cells our cells are our energy factories in our whole entire body. The mitochondria there, that's what gives us energy. And this supplement blend helps to support that. So gives us energy without giving us like a caffeine. You're not going to feel jittery. You're just going to, my experience, you're going to feel pretty good. So I do recommend that everyone try this at one time or another, just to see if there's been people who have just, their lives have been dramatically changed by this product alone. So it's definitely something to keep in mind. And let's talk about oils for 40 plus. I am 39, so I'm definitely creeping up into this phase of my life. And typically, they might not start at 40, they might start earlier, they might start later, but most women deal with hot flashes at one point in their life or another. I know just with pregnancy, I've had a couple where it's like, oh my gosh, is this a hot flash? I'm so hot right now. And taking some peppermint and just rubbing it on the back of your neck, you can dilute it. You can, if you're having a lot of hot flashes, you can mix up like a glass spray bottle with some water and just keep that and just spray it on your skin when you need it. And then you can put Clary Calm. We talked about Clary Calm for estrogen support. And Clary Calm on your wrists at least twice daily can be really helpful for hot flashes as well. And then if you want to get fancy, you can mix up something like this blend, which is 12 drops wild orange, 9 drops clary sage, 6 drops geranium, and 6 drops Roman chamomile. Put that in a 5 milliliter roller bottle. It's going to smell pretty good. That wild orange smells amazing, and with the floral oils, it's going to smell really good. And then you can apply that to your pulse points and even to your palms and just breathe it in, and it can really help for when you do have the occasional hot flash, or if you're having cramps or PMS, it can really help with that too. And for cramps, what I found that works the very best is peppermint. Peppermint is one of my very favorite oils because it has so many applications. So when I get cramps around that time of the month, I just dilute some peppermint in a carrier oil, maybe 2 drops in half a teaspoon, and just rub it all around my low abdomen and my low back. And it has changed my life. It just really helps me to stay comfortable without needing to add anything else into my life. Then there's also a couple other supplements that I wanted to mention because they're designed to help us women at every phase of our life. So phytoestrogen and bone nutrient. So the bone nutrient supports healthy bones and overall health. It's it's magnesium and vitamin D and calcium in this really absorbable form that can really help our bodies. And then the phytoestrogen actually helps support normal hormone levels throughout a woman's life. So it helps to keep you in a healthy place. And when we do these things together, a program of eating right most of the time and exercising, this can really help minimize the uncomfortable symptoms of PMS and menopause. So I want to remind you that knowledge is not power. You might know these things. Knowledge is only potential power. What really gives us power is action. Action is power. So it's one thing to watch this webinar and be like, oh, well, that's cool. Yeah, I know this stuff. But if we want to get results, we need to apply this to our life. So I want you to think, what is one thing that you can start right now? What is the one takeaway that you want to start right now from this webinar? And I want you to take action on it. So maybe it's trying out the Lifelong Vitality. Maybe it's talking to me about how in the world can you even get these doTERRA oils at the very best price. Maybe it's adding in some Clary Calm to your life. What is it for you? And this is me. I'm Courtney Greedy. Here's my email address. you can definitely please reach out to me if you have questions, if you, like I said, if you want to get started with oils at the very best price. And then I did link to my doTERRA site if you want to just get started right away. But I love to talk to people. I love to connect. I want to make sure you're getting the best value, the best oils for your family and what you have going on. It's definitely my passion to help women to feel better in their body. So please reach out. I would love to talk and I would love to connect. And I wish you a lifetime of hormonal happiness. Talk to you soon. Bye.